It's about time for something new, something very exciting, but let me first explain how it all started. Back in 2018, I went on a trip around the world with stops in New York, Los Angeles, French Polynesia, New Zealand, Australia, Indonesia. Oh, well, that did not really happen. Unfortunately, right in the beginning of my trip in New York, after arriving, I managed to lose my passport, which was really stupid, but it happened. So luckily, I could get another one, a new one, a temporary one in a few days. Not a big problem. However, when I was in Australia, New Zealand and French Polynesia, it wasn't a problem at all. But I tried to board my flight or to check into my flight going from Sydney to Jakarta. Then they told me, hey, you can't go on this passport. You need a visa for if you have this passport. I said, that's very unfortunate because it takes up to a week to get this visa. So I thought, that's not a good idea. So I had to come up with an alternative. And I sat down on the floor at the airport, my laptop out, and I looked for flights to some other locations. And the first thing that popped up was Bangkok. And the flight was about to leave 3 hours later. So I quickly booked that flight. And so I went to Bangkok instead of Jakarta. So I was in Bangkok for a few weeks and I thought, hey, I should film some videos, of course, for my channel. So for this one location, I needed to take a train. And when I arrived at the train station, I figured this place is very special. Maybe I should return here and film an episode. And I did. Maybe some of you remember. Back then, I think I filmed with my M6 and some, what was the name? Like some Kodak BW, some C41 black and white film that was expired back then that I got from my friend. Maybe some of you remember. After filming this episode, I returned to the train station again to shoot some more. And when I went back home, I thought, hey, this place is so special, maybe I can turn this into a project. So I went back to Bangkok a few times just to shoot in this train station. It was such a great time, and unfortunately in 2020 when I went back there, COVID happened and everything went to, you know what I'm about to say. So yeah, basically that stopped me from going there again and to shoot. And also on top of that, what I learned when I was there is that they were about to build a new train station to replace it. So they wanted to shut down the train station, which is unfortunate because it's a very special place. If you have ever been to Hua Lampong Station, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's very unique and I mean, you can see in the B-roll, it's a very cool place. It's very old. It feels very local. I mean, you can see some tourists there, but not that many. And for my project, it was ideal and I loved shooting there. And unlike most train stations in Europe or maybe in the West in general, I could just wander around and explore the whole place without anybody saying anything. So nobody really seemed to care. So that was great. For shooting the project, I used my Leica M6 with a 28mm Summicron lens. And the film of choice was Ilford HP5 pushed to 1600. Pushed because I like the contrast and also in there, sometimes you get in low light situations and you are happy to have a little bit more leeway there. And developing and scanning I did myself. Mostly I developed in Kodak HC110. And now since the project is finished basically, I think finally it's time to share the body of work with you. In this train station, one thing you could be sure of is that there was always something going on. There was a constant influx of people arriving and leaving. With the recently opened new main station, these scenes you see here are now gone. Unfortunately though, Hua Lampong will not be replaced by a new shopping mall or a condo building. Instead, it will be turned into a museum as far as I know. I've already published 3 zines in the past, as you might know, and this time I wanted to do it a little bit differently, and I want to get you involved in the whole process. What that exactly means, I will explain in more detail in the next episode. But one thing I already know for sure is that it's going to be epic, and I cannot wait to finally hold the printed result in my hands. Oh, and by the way, since I know there's a few Aussies here on the channel, I just wanted to mention that my friend over from Pushing Film, Hashim, and we are planning to maybe run 1 or 2 workshops in Australia later this year. Just wanted to mention that. More details soon. Okay guys, I hope you are as pumped as I am. If you are, you know what to do. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we will see each other very soon in the next one. Until then, auf Wiedersehen.